pastors at St. Paul Community United Methodist Church, and on behalf of the congregation and staff of our church, we welcome you. We are so excited to be hosting this event today, and we are so grateful that you thought of us as someone to host. I wanted to introduce for you our senior pastor, Reverend Dr. David Wells, but he is not available today, but he has a message for us. Will you give your eyes to the screen?
Friends, I hope you're having a great morning. My name is David Wells. I serve on staff here at St. Paul Community United Methodist Church as one of its pastors. I've carried many titles over the years, but one of the greatest honors given to me is the privilege of being called a veteran. I've served in our nation's Army as a non-commissioned officer. I was granted many opportunities to work for men and women who carried out their responsibilities with great distinction. Sergeant First Class Zarnecki was one of my most precious platoon sergeants. Sergeant Zarnecki taught me the value of hard work. He believed that hustle and persistence were better predictors of success and intelligence and prestige. And likewise, my battalion Sergeant Major Ganas, he impressed upon me the twin virtues of integrity and honesty. And when Sergeant Major Ganas made you a promise, he held true to his word. And though he was small in stature, all of us looked up to him with great respect and admiration. I remain friends with these two fine military men to this day. We forged a bond that transcends both time and distance. Their legacies will remain forever imprinted in my heart. And likewise, all of us who once carried the titles of Grunt or Top, Flyboy, Ranger, Devil Dog, Swabby, or even Marine, share a common connection with one another through the pledge that we took to defend our nation against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. And yet those of you who served our country through one of its most perilous times in American history, you deserve our nation's unbridled admiration. And as you are pinned today, I pray that you will know that your service has not been in vain, nor has your sacrifice gone unnoticed. On behalf of a grateful nation, I salute you, and may you recognize how dearly you are esteemed, how important have been your contributions to freedom, and how great a legacy you are leaving to future generations in this country. So may God bless you and keep you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.
Even Marines, wow. Will you join me in an attitude of prayer as I ask God's presence? Oh God, we gather today in this place to honor and recognize veterans of the Vietnam War. In their youth, when they naturally would have been transitioning from children to adults, beginning families, and embarking on careers, instead they answered the call of their country to go to war. The horrors they experienced in the theater of battle were too often only made worse by the reception they received when they returned home. May our actions here today, far removed by time from their service, be but so very close in the hearts of those who sacrificed, bring healing memories, forgiveness for those that let them down, and the blessings of freedom that we celebrate as Americans. Amen. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has a message for us.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense, and it is an honor to be able to join in the Vietnam War commemoration. So to our Vietnam veterans and their families, let me simply say thank you. On behalf of the Department of Defense, we are deeply grateful for all that you have given to the cause of democracy and freedom. And we owe an especially deep debt of gratitude to our Gold Star families and our POW MIA families. You and your loved ones are always in our hearts. Our Vietnam veterans have left a priceless legacy for the service members of today and tomorrow. And over the course of my own career, I've been led and taught and inspired by Vietnam veterans. One of them was my uncle. He served proudly in Vietnam as a Green Beret. And I still remember seeing his jump boots and, of course, that marvelous Green Beret. My uncle showed me what it means to contribute to something larger than yourself. He inspired me to serve as well, and he showed me how one act of service can lead to the next. My uncle was a part of a generation of American troops who made huge sacrifices. They served in difficult circumstances and divided times, and all too often, they came home to heckling and insults, and not to the hugs and thanks that they deserve. After the war, many Vietnam vets did their country another service. They hung in there and they worked to build bridges and to strengthen the bonds of citizenship and to ensure that Iraq and Afghanistan veterans like me came home to the embrace of a grateful nation. So let me say to our Vietnam veterans and to their families, we are still inspired by both your service abroad and your contributions at home. And your example reminds us all why our democracy is worth defending. You know, I'm blessed to be able to spend a lot of time with our outstanding service members, and I always marvel at their courage and their drive to excel.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. My name's Mary Jo Holohan, and I'm regent or president of the Mariemont chapter of Daughters of the American Revolution, and we would like to welcome you here this morning. DAR is a lineage organization. We can trace one of our ancestors back to someone who either served in the American Revolution or supported it in some way. We are also a service organization. We support our communities, and we support the Constitution, and we are non-political. So if any of you have any interest in finding out more about us, please talk to us afterwards. Thank you. And now I'll introduce Sherry Smithson. Sherry is chair of this event today, and it's all due to her that this has happened. So we thank her very much.
You should be able to hear me. I taught school for 32 years, so I could talk to the church across the street, probably. So, when I became a member of DAR, and I learned that the U.S. Defense Department was asking our society to reach out and find as many Vietnam veterans as possible, and through the Commemorative Events Organization, bestow upon you a commemorative pen to thank you for your service. I immediately went to the girls and I said, pick me, I want to chair this event. And they were like, you want to chair it? You got it. So, and just a flow of help around me has made this possible. But I really got to tell you, my drive to do what I'm doing today stems from when I was a teacher. And I taught for 32 years, Milford mostly, and go Eagles. And the curriculum was set, textbooks were there, and Vietnam would be a paragraph. It just was unacceptable. So I thought, if I really want my students to understand what went on during the Vietnam War era, who better to tell them than those who experienced it? The primary sources, you guys. So I had them start coming into my classrooms and throughout the years talking about the experience of the times and what was going on. And, You know, it's important for the young to hear this because we all know history repeats itself in various ways. And the more information that we have about our history helps us to become critical thinkers and to make those decisions necessary to keep our country the greatest country on this planet, the United States of America. And it's up to the youth. They're the ones that are going to bring this nation into the future. So I do ask you, even after this ceremony is long over today, talk to the young. Tell them to put that Game Boy down, or I guess Game Boys don't exist anymore, whatever they play on their phones. Talk to them. Get them in the car, captured audience. Talk to them. They're listening, even if they're not giving you eye contact. Because I tell you, when the vets would come into my classroom, it would be months later, students would bring up, well, this vet said this. Would that be the same, Mrs. Smithson, about World War II? You know, and things like that. So they're listening. So keep talking. The two types of pens we're going to give you today that you will see are, for the vets, it's an eagle pen. Embossed on the back, it says, "A grateful nation thanks you and honors you." The second pen has a star on the head, and in the back it's embossed, "A thankful nation honors your service and your sacrifice." And that will go to the family members today whose now family veteran, Vietnam vet, is no longer with us. The Defense Department has done a beautiful job with these pens. I'm very impressed with them, and I hope that they mean the same to you. What I would like to do at this time is to ask everyone that's here to, if you are a vet, to come up and sit in the reserved seats. Do we have a vet seated in the back? Okay, do all vets have a card with your name on it? Okay, we do have a vet here that does not have a card. Regent Mary Jo, will you help this gentleman? And I think we have Kathy maybe in the back, and we'll get you that name card. All right. So, in the last couple of weeks, the DAR members, we have pinned veterans who could not be here today at their homes. We have mailed pins to their out-of-town residencies. That was 19 vets. Today we have at least 49 vets who will be receiving their pins. Now that's a total of 68 veterans. That's a lot to gather in 2 weeks' time, but I know it's a small number compared to the amount of vets that exist. All of you may think from time to time, oh, I know this person, I wish I had called them and they deserve a pin. Please reach out to the Marymount Chapter DAR and we'll get in touch with those vets and we will make sure that they are pinned. Thank you. So what we're going to do at this time is we're going to start the pinning event. We'll start on this side of the chapel, and the ushers will dismiss by pew. So we'll start with the first pew. The veterans will come out towards the end of the pew, and then over here, you'll hand me a card, and then two other DAR members, my facilitators will come forward, Kay Pope and Ann Peterson, will perform the pinning. And you will also receive an envelope. Inside the envelope is a handout that explains what the symbols are on the pins. So we'll have you go over here and sit. Got it. Awesome. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead. We'll have the first pew. Please rise. Reminds me of the first day of school when I would have to figure out, now how do you pronounce your name? But I really have been practicing. So we have Jerry Ramos, and Jerry Ramos is a veteran who is no longer with us. Posthumously, it will be received to his brother, Ted Ramos. In memory of Jerry Ramos, his sister, Elizabeth Ramos, and Carmen Saylor. G. Ernie Ramos, U.S. Army. In memory of Raymond Ramos, U.S. Army, posthumously 2 daughters, Hala Ramos and Kelly Miller. Thank you. Kenneth Sullivan, U.S. Marine Corps. Robert Lowry, U.S. Army. Michael Pope, U.S. Army. Rick Tyler, U.S. Navy. Carl Eddington, Jr., U.S. Air Force, posthumously to widow Carolyn Eddington. Tom Clifton, U.S. Army. Daryl Everman, U.S. Army. Gary Thompson, U.S. Army. Denny Thompson, U.S. Air Force. Terry Cross, U.S. Air Force. Thomas Adder, U.S. Marine Corps, posthumously given to widow Sandy Adder. Edward Hodges, U.S. Army, posthumously to widow Jackie Hodges. Steve Flower, U.S. Army, posthumously to widow Debbie Flower. Edmund Adams, U.S. Army. You're doing great. Bob Maidens, U.S. Army. Yes. Richard McKay, U.S. Army. Thank you for all the names that you gave me. Appreciate it. David Friend, U.S. Navy. Fred Mancini, U.S. Army. Lee Tatham, U.S. Navy. William Wolf, U.S. Navy. Thank you, Donald Bedwell, U.S. Marine Corps. Stand here. You were going to, you could do that.
Okay. And now if we could have this side start with the first row. Robert Hancher, U.S. Air Force. Kyle Smithson, U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you. Bernard Durr, U.S. Army. Ralph Kasky, U.S. Marine Corps. Jerry Porter, U.S. Air Force. Stephen Seals, U.S. Army, posthumously to widow Shirley Seals. Dennis Anderson, U.S. Navy. Larry Curlis, U.S. Army. Robert Duncan, U.S. Army. Tom Lucky, U.S. Marine Corps.
Last name is Bozy,
I know that.
and mine is Micah.
Micah. Okay, thank you. Richard Bozy, U.S. Marine Corps, posthumously to widow Micah Bozy. Walter Fawley, U.S. Air Force. Ronald Goins, U.S. Air Force, posthumously to widow Donna Goins. Stephen Wedding, U.S. Army. John Ekman, U.S. Army. Thank you. James Dice, U.S. Army.
I get prices right here.
Larry Lucky, U.S. Army. Chuck LaFata, U.S. Ranger. Kenneth Patchell, U.S. Army. Ed Walsh, U.S. Air Force. John Antolini, U.S. Army. Henry Gaskins, U.S. Army. Thank you all. Something I failed to do at the beginning that we would like to do now is the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You can all sit now. Yeah. Are there any other veterans that are here that may not have been pinned? Would like to step forward? Okay. I'd like to introduce now our chaplain, Debbie Himmel.
Thank you. Just a few parting words. Lord, we are a nation built by patriots, a nation that asked, who will fight for freedom? Who will make us great? Our DAR ancestors answered, we will, and they did. We came here today in goodwill and harmony, an occasion to acknowledge and honor those who also answered our nation's call. It is right and fitting, as you, are the patriots of today. We are thankful that these veterans came home, and we are proud of them. Please keep them in your care. Amen. We now invite family and friends to follow the ushers to the reception area where refreshments and restrooms are available. Veterans, please join us down here at the steps so we can have a group picture. And this concludes our Vietnam War commemorative pinning event. Thank you for attending and supporting our veterans.